China is reportedly considering selling its TikTok U.S. operations to Elon Musk. Now, TikTok calling the report, quote, pure fiction. I want to bring in Scott Martin back with us because on the Elon Musk side of this, Scott, you know, remember how leveraged Elon Musk was, and I would argue still is, with his purchase of Twitter, which he turned into X. Maybe he could go out, but there are several competing groups that would like to purchase TikTok. ByteDance doesn't seem to want to sell, but that ban is Sunday. It's the 19th.
Bingo.
So
yeah, right around the corner, Cheryl. Yeah, so they need to do something quick. I mean, they may not be up for the deal, but they may have no choice. And I think that's what's interesting about this is interesting bedfellows, to your point, Cheryl. But Elon Musk, to his credit, did clean up Twitter, now X. So that was good. I think he turned it into a lot better machine than it was back then. And so you have to figure that Elon Musk could have a positive, say, impact on TikTok. Now, what that deal looks like, what the structure of it is, maybe he IPOs it at some point, Cheryl. I mean, there's all kinds of things that could happen with TikTok. Don't forget, I mean, I wasn't a big fan of TikTok to begin with. I thought the thing was going to fail. 170 million Americans later, users on the platform, it's doing pretty darn well. So there's a good alignment here that could happen. And listen, otherwise TikTok is going to be gonzo. They're going to be banned in the USA like 2 Live Crew was back in 1990, and nobody's going to hear boo about them after that. So they almost are coming to a point where they don't have a choice, and Musk may be their savior.
Well, the Supreme Court does not appear that they're going to be the savior. What I find interesting is a Chinese company trying to use the issue of the First Amendment and freedom of speech when you're a Chinese company, but I digress. Do you think, though, do you think that this ban hits on Sunday? And because I'm not sure the Supreme Court's going to help them at this point.
I agree. I used to doubt Elon Musk back in the day. He and I shared the same birthday, so I should have known better than to do that. June 28th, by the way, if you're playing at home. So I think Musk could pull this off, but your point is well taken. They're using their First Amendment to steal our information and use it against us later. So if that is not abuse of power, abuse of the amendments, I don't know what is. But I think Elon Musk is the only one that can save this deal, and I think it'll be something very, very, very late in the process here that comes through, and maybe they get something done. And then what happens after that is super interesting, as we've seen so far with Twitter and now X and what he's done there.
All right, real quick, you know, we've had a lot of headlines have been coming out from Mark Zuckerberg, from, you know, as far as the changes to that platform. We've got headlines today about job cuts in particular. Final comment on, because these are publicly traded stocks that we do watch on this network.
We do, and they disclose a lot of things nowadays, Cheryl, and they have to play a good public figure, right? They have to put a good public face on. I'll tell you what, I appreciate what some of those platforms and what some of those companies have done now. They're doing what's called playing ball, and I think they're doing the right thing overall for the American, and I think that's the right thing they should have been done all along. But my goodness, if you look at Mark Zuckerberg these days, take a look at Zuck as it was today versus how he was a couple years ago and a couple years before that. I don't even recognize the guy in speech and appearance and everything, but he seems like a better man. It seems like he's got his head on straight finally, and I think other companies are going to follow suit.
Well, Scott, to your point, there's the issue of free speech, and then there's the issue of China. Those two things do not go together, to be clear.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close. And nor do I want to share our beautiful amendments and our beautiful freedoms with what China can do to us, because that's something, too, that Donald Trump, thank goodness, is over in the White House very, very soon to take care of that stuff.
Agreed. All right, Scott, thank you so much.
We
are going to have more.